Candace, and I am a volunteer at the Suicide Prevention Center. I have been a volunteer for about a year and a half. I initially wanted to do something with the crisis center because I had known a couple of friends of mine growing up that had actually died by suicide and overdoses, but I also had my own struggles with depression. I personally was never suicidal, but I really wanted to help those who were in that, really dark state, but also being present as a social influencer and YouTuber. I see that there's a lot of effects that people have from social media, and young kids are really affected by bullying and problems at school, and so I really wanted to find a way to help people really one-on-one with that, rather than just donating or doing something like that. I really wanted to be I really wanted to be in the battleground, basically, of what was going on. We trained Saturdays and Sundays for about 9 weeks. So that is a lot of one-on-one practicing, a lot of really learning about suicide, depression, addiction as a whole. And then we start on the lines, just kind of like you're thrown out there, really, because you know truly inside, that you're gonna be able to do this, but you also have somebody, a manager, a seasoned, volunteer who's listening to your calls too, to make sure that everything's going okay. I think the biggest thing that you're taught that I've really realized I needed to learn was empathy and active listening. I think that sometimes you feel like, when I first started, I felt like I needed to have a solution on hand and needed to help this person and figure out something to help them, but really they just needed someone to listen and understand, and to really just be there and non-judgmental and just listen for a little bit. And so I think that just being able to be an empathetic person and understand what this person's going through, not necessarily knowing firsthand what it's like, but to just be there with them, is really important. There are a lot of people who still don't really know what the line is or does. There are a lot of people that call and they're almost apologetic for calling, or they're like, I know you don't want to deal with this right now, and it's like, I'm here, I chose to be here. It's my job to be here. I think the biggest thing is if you know somebody who's depressed or feeling suicidal or in crisis, is to really just be there to listen and know that there's you don't need to find an immediate solution. And it's important to just be with that person in the moment and make little steps. But also, the thing that I learned really was that I was so afraid to say the word suicide and to say, are you suicidal? Because I thought that would trigger them, or make them die by suicide, or make them act on what their thoughts were. But it was actually more important that you do say, I'm really concerned, and are you feeling suicidal? What would you do? What's your plan? And that's sometimes really surprising to people to say. Just ask about it. Just be upfront, because it not only puts that in reality for that person, but also lets that person know that you're coming from a non-judgmental place. And so when somebody who's feeling suicidal has these feelings and they can't tell anyone, it's just that anxiety gets worse and worse. And so I think being able to just be an outlet for that person and be someone who can talk to them in confidence is really, really important. But if you are feeling suicidal or depressed, I always tell people, even if we hang up right now and in 2 minutes you feel like this anxiety is coming back, call us. I mean, everybody who's at the Suicide Prevention Center wants to be there, and sometimes people don't think that we do, but I mean, I come here every week, and I'm here, and I want to be here to help them, and it's okay to call the line if you're not immediately suicidal. And even if you're just trying to look for help, trying to look for someone you can talk to, like a therapist, or how to move forward with treatment, we're also somebody you can call, because we have all the resources possible. starts going out less. They experience, really big moments of anxiety, panic attacks. They're sleeping a lot or they're not sleeping at all. So it's one or the other, really. But it's also, you can just kind of see them close off a little bit. And that's where it's really important to kind of be with them before they reach that point to where they don't even want help anymore. And so it can be very scary, but it's also something that they really would rather have that help.